News out of Hickman County, where TBI is investigating an officer-involved shooting.
Yeah, Alexandra Cohen has been on the scene all morning long, and when you first arrived, Alexandra, and you said TBI was on the scene, usually that does mean we know it's an officer-involved shooting. What are they able to tell you at this point?
Right, Steve, it's not a law yet, but I'm told it could be soon. That TBI investigates all officer-involved shootings in this state. So when I got here, I knew it was a serious situation. There were 3 people on the ground with spotlights on them, and there was also a very large police presence. Hickman County sheriffs, along with Centerville police, were here on scene. There was an armored vehicle that I'm told was involved in this police chase and pursuit. There were multiple shootouts across the county. I'm told there's a separate crime scene at Keg County Pawn Shop. I'm not really sure how that works in here, but once the TBI gets on scene, we'll make sure we ask them those questions. Neighbors tell us they heard loud bangs and saw police chasing a suspect in a car. It all ended in this cul-de-sac. Neighbors heard popping noises and they saw helicopters flying overhead. Again, it came to an end in the 2400 block of Crestview Drive. And as you can see, it's still a very active investigation out here right now. We're not sure if officers are still looking for any suspects, but we're told no police were injured in that chase. Reporting live in Hickman County, Alexandra Cohen, News Channel 5.
Alexandra, thanks for the update. We'll check back with you. Breaking news here in Nashville now. A gunman on the run after shooting a teenager with a shotgun overnight. News Channel 5's Dan Kennedy working this one live for us this morning. Is this teen improving, Dan? You were telling us earlier a shotgun blast sounds horrible, but you know we know a shotgun kind of spreads out a little bit.
Yeah, and this was a bird shot, Steve, so it's the kind of shot that's used to shoot a moving bird, and that's what they used in this case, and it's what nailed this teen in the torso this morning and sent him to Vanderbilt Hospital, where doctors say he's going to be okay, he's going to survive this, non-life-threatening injuries, but he's not talking to investigators. This is what the scene looked like about 2:15 this morning when they first got called out there. It was actually the 19-year-old who had just been shot who was able to dial 911 right outside of his grandmother's house. And that's when police arrived on the scene. The ambulance arrived, took him to the hospital. Detectives went there to try and talk to this teen to get a little information out of him about what happened, but he's not talking. So now police are having to go back to the North Precinct where we are now to piece together what they do have, and they're asking for anybody in the public who may know something to give them a call or to call Crime Stoppers. There's always reward cash available, and that's the case this morning. This 19-year-old at the hospital this morning, and the search for the suspect continues. Reporting live this morning in North Nashville from the precinct, Dan Kennedy, News Channel 5.
Dan, thanks for breaking that down for us. We appreciate the update. A gruesome murder investigation underway in Kentucky after several kids find a bag stuffed with body parts floating down a river. Police identifying that body as that of 22-year-old Kristen Edwards. Pictures here from her Facebook page. She's out of Barron County, Kentucky. George Bruton was on the Green River in Hart County Saturday. He's fishing when these kids come up to him, and they led him to this bag that was floating in the water. Bruton, ironically, a former member of the Hart County Rescue Squad, he could not believe what he found inside. Human remains. He says the discovery was shocking, and obviously people in that area are now really shaken up.
It's cut up in sections so they could fit it in a bag.
They've got another Charles Manson on hand, it sounds like.
Ooh, Kentucky State Police say that case obviously is a homicide. They've not released any information on a suspect, though. The victim was the mother of 2 children. Also out of Hart County, authorities say that a body found there last June was that of Stephanie Coffin. Coffin was last seen in May getting into a pickup truck with an unknown person here in Nashville. Officials say she had apparently been living on the streets in that area before she was picked up. No word yet on how Stephanie Coffin actually died. Amy?
We have some new video this morning of that high-speed chase that killed an innocent young mom in Murfreesboro, and you're looking at the dash cam footage behind me. It's from a deputy's vehicle. Investigators say officers were chasing Garion Simmons while he was behind the wheel of a stolen SUV. Simmons allegedly slammed into another car, killing Jessica Campos. At a preliminary hearing yesterday, Simmons did not look at the video. Campos's family was there, and they watched the footage for the first time.
The sound of the crash and the before that and everything, it was pretty like going through it with her.
Simmons' cousin told us last month that Garion was afraid to pull over because he thought that police were going to shoot him. Now the case is headed to a higher court.
An arsonist is on the run right now after a playground burned to the ground. The Winchester police chief tells us that someone set fire to the structure at Adventure Mountain at the city park. That's a playground built by volunteers, paid for with money raised by the community. If you know anything about that, give police a call.